Hey friends, Dave here with Transfer Express, and today we are talking all about the different techniques for loading a heat press. Now there's a couple ways you could get your garments on the heat press, so we're going to break down some heat press capabilities, most importantly, the threadability, and then we're going to explore the pros and cons of threading or dressing your garment on the lower platen versus just laying straight over top. So what do you say? Let's learn something today. If you are new to Transfer Express, we are the world's largest supplier of custom screen printed and digital heat transfers, heat presses, free customizable designs, wholesale apparel, and expert advice to help grow your t-shirt business. If you haven't already, subscribe. We're kicking out new videos like this one every single week. Now first up, you may be asking, what does threading mean? Well, threading is essentially dressing the lower platen like it's a mannequin, or like opening the shirt like a pillowcase and putting it on a pillow. In this case, the pillow would be the lower platen. There are some advantages and disadvantages to this technique, but we're going to dive into that in just a minute. Next, let's chat heat presses. There are three basic types when it comes to the lower platen style. There's threadable, semi-threadable, and non-threadable. If they don't mention anything about threadability in the product description as a capability of the press, odds are it's not threadable. Our auto clam right here out of the box is not a threadable press. That is until it's coupled with the caddy stand like we have right here, or the counter caddy stand, which doesn't have the full legs and it's meant to sit on a table or a counter. Then we are able to unlock the full capabilities, allowing us to thread the garment like we have on our heat press. Now, some heat presses, like this A to Z swing away press, are labeled as semi-threadable, which means the garment could go under the lower platen, but not all the way. You can see where it's actually connected to the base right in the middle of the platen, so you could get a shirt about halfway onto it. For most shirts, you're gonna be able to load the t-shirt on the platen fine, but for smaller sizes, you may see some stretching of the garment when you're trying to have it fit nice and flat to this lower platen. And so that stretching is not something that you're going to want to see, as it could skew or warp your prints when you're actually printing. Other heat presses, like the Hotronix Fusion heat press, is fully threadable out of the box, thanks in part to its gooseneck arm on the base that holds the lower platen and its innovative base design. If you are shopping for a heat press to start your apparel printing adventure, or if you're just looking to upgrade, a threadable platen is definitely a feature to look for. I personally love the fully threadable presses, as with my traditional screen printing background, the threadable lower platens are very familiar to how you load t-shirts on a traditional screen printing press. Of course, with a threadable press, you always have the option to thread or just place the garment over top, a luxury not available on those non-threadable presses. You're locked into just laying over top. But before we move on, one thing to consider for fully threadable heat presses is a quick slip pad protector. These inexpensive accessories make loading t-shirts a breeze, and not only does it protect this foam rubber here on the lower platen from ink and wear, but it also allows the t-shirts to easily slide on and off, reducing the grip of these rubber pads and extending the lifespan of this lower platen. Now that we have covered the heat press capabilities, let's take a look at some pros and cons to each one of these methods. So first up, let's look at the layers of fabric that we're dealing with. When threading onto the lower platen, we are only dealing with one layer of fabric, making it super easy to eliminate any wrinkles. But when we're laying the garment over the platen, we have two layers of fabric to worry about. And any wrinkles in that bottom layer can impact the quality of your print and may affect the pressure of your press too. Now this is less noticeable on larger garments, but smaller garments may require a little extra time and finesse to ensure both layers are wrinkle-free for the optimal press. Now this is also super important when printing the backs of any other garments with seams or obstructions like zippers or buttons. Just on t-shirts, you can see that the collar is lower on the front than on the back, and if you're trying to print an upper back location, we're going to need to move the collar out of the way of our print location, possibly introducing more wrinkles in other locations of the shirt. Now when threading, the collar in the front is below the platen, giving us a nice smooth surface from edge to edge. Now one downside to threading the platen is the shirt will always be upside down as it is facing you, as the vast majority of heat presses can only be loaded from the front. But With just a couple presses, you're going to get used to having the shirt and the print upside down. But I'll admit, it is slightly disorienting when you're first trying to figure out which way is up and which way is down, and then using a transfer like our goof-proof screen printed transfers that are mirrored on the carrier sheet. So it's upside down and reversed, but I promise you're going to get the hang of it if you just give it a shot. Now with laying the shirt over the platen, you have the ability to place the shirt however you like, right side up, upside down, or even sideways if you want, and that could be great for reducing your printing area, like if you need to get a hoodie pocket off of the platen for an even pressing surface. Now, both methods make aligning the shirt straight on the press easy. With just laying over, we can ensure that our sides are equal distance from the edges of the platen, and when threading the shirt, we'll just check the side seams on our garment or the side fold line if it's a tubular t-shirt against the platen's edge and ensure that we're equal on both sides. Now, if you're interested in more print placement and alignment tips, we put a full video together right here detailing all of the methods we used for aligning your prints. We'll also link the video down in the description below. The last comparison that we can make for our methods of loading our press is with jerseys or any mesh product. If you're just laying over the press, you have to be cautious when printing these types of garments, as the ink from our heat transfers could seep through the holes of the garment and essentially glue the garment together. Not good when the intended use is for someone to actually wear it. Now this is fixed with just a simple piece of parchment paper, craft paper, a cover sheet, or any other heat-resistant insert placed inside the garment before you print it. But when threading on the platen, we're introducing the platen between each layer of fabric on the garment. With this non-stick quick slip pad protector, we don't even have to worry about ink sticking to our platen either. Now, of course, if one method is working for you, there's no need to change it. I encourage everyone to find the way that works best for you and run with it. Whatever you're more comfortable with while getting quality prints is going to be the best way to print t-shirts. So let us know down in the comments section below which way you load your heat press. Are you team threadable or team lay over top? Of course, if you think we missed anything in the pros and cons in this video, let us know down there too. And be sure you're subscribed here to stay up to date on all of the videos that we're dropping every single week here on the Transfer Express YouTube channel. But until next time, I'm Dave. Happy pressing.